Hey, what's up, guys and girls? This is James Hunter and Joanne Fultz of the Florida International Group of MVP Realty and the co-creators of the FIGU courses. Also, make sure and look us up at FIGU courses on our YouTube station. Please subscribe and like that. We love it. It makes us excited and it makes us keep continuing to do these videos was full of content and hopefully valuable things for you guys to use in your everyday life and your investing. Today, we're going to talk about scared and depressed. And I think this is a great segue into kind of what's gone into myself and Joanne's personal life. I think both of us have some strategic stories that we can share with you today that's going to help other people out there because, as you know, everybody's got problems. Everybody's got kind of the same issues if we really dig into it and look at each other's past and present and what we're going through, especially today with the pandemic and everything that's going on. But I'm going to kind of throw this out there to Joanne and put her out on the limb here and tell a little bit about her. We became business partners 4 years ago, 3 years into the partnership. I knew that she had some past experience with cancer, but and then going into our final year, which was probably I'm going to say probably one of our most successful years, is the company just took off like a rocket. And then come to find out she had reoccurring stage was it 3 stage 3 cancer, melanoma cancer, which is highly aggressive, as you know. And so I'll throw the mic to her, and I'm gonna probably put her on the limb here a little bit and put her on her uncomfortable zone. But how was it, I guess, when you found out about the cancer? And obviously, we were going through a dramatic flow in our company, and it was growing dramatically. And I'm going to tell you right out of the gate, scared the shit out of me probably as much as you, because I'm thinking, fuck, excuse me, how is this going to affect our company, and what do I do? And tell me how you felt.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's, it was at the time the third time that it had come back, but it came back very aggressively, obviously, and I didn't expect the diagnosis. I thought I just had a lump in my leg, and I didn't imagine that it was cancerous, and it was a shock. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I look back at it now, and it was a shock at the time that I dealt with by saying, okay, I'll give myself a chance to cry and get really upset about it, for half a day. And then after that, I focused purely on what am I going to do about it? What are the next steps? And what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do next week? Let's start setting appointments. Let's figure out where I'm going to get treated, what treatment. And then it was trying to keep my brain focused on what is the next step and not look ahead of that.
That's great. Awesome. And I was thinking about, oh, heck, what am I going to do and how am I going to run 3 companies myself? So, yeah, I mean, and when somebody's going through with you, I mean, it's, from my standpoint, I was like, okay, I can't worry about, we have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do now moving forward? I mean, it's a big segue. Yeah, I mean, it's dramatic. It's something that happens in everybody's life. And I'm sure there's many people that are watching this that have gone through the same things and had other partners, business partners, family members, and just like, how are they going to make it through this? But yeah.
Right. You can plan, you can plan lots of things in your life. You can plan, what you're going to invest in, and you can plan a good future for yourself with a lot more opportunity for financial freedom, right? Which is what we're trying to get people to, we're trying to help people investors, and other agents to do that through our courses, but you can plan all you like, but then in everybody's life, there are sometimes just massive boulders that fall on you from the sky, that you weren't expecting. And it can be all kinds of different things, not just cancer, but other things. And I think if you can keep or try to keep a positive mindset, and for me, and everybody handles this differently, obviously, and I'm a mentor right now for a cancer association called AIM at Melanoma, and I'm actually mentoring a person right now who has stage 4 melanoma, and the treatment for them that I had isn't working right now. And I'm working with her once a week, via phone to mentor her through that. And we talk a lot about focusing on the present right now, and what can you control about your present to make your present, as good as it possibly can for yourself. And, at the time I was going through it, and I was having pretty aggressive treatment every 2 weeks with the side effects that entails. I mean, you came with me to the treatment multiple times. You were so supportive. But you have to, work and still focusing on every goal that I had for the business that we created and for the financial freedom that I wanted to create for myself. Still focusing on those and saying, okay, I feel terrible today. I feel like I've got the flu, especially the 3 days after the treatment was really pretty bad. But still, can I do one thing still today towards my ultimate goals that I've set myself? And if I can do one thing, if I'm strong enough to do one thing, then that's a win for me. And that's what I try to do every single day.
That's great. And I think that leads me into, I read a book the other day. It said there's 2 things that you can't change in your life. And that's what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to live every day like it's today. And I think that goes into some of the things that we teach in the course too, is always have a plan. And whether it's a personal plan or a business plan,
Right.
where you know exactly where you're going. And number 2, have an exit strategy. Not to throw that out there to you, but I think that's the one thing that now that I've kind of take a look at, not personally because of your health, but I mean, anything can happen any given day. So I mean, I think everybody always needs to have an exit strategy when it comes to personally or business. But yeah, that's awesome. But as you get the followers, she's great. She rang the bell.
Yes.
Go. So don't worry about that.
I was very lucky that the treatment worked for me. But the title of this YouTube video, James, and I've opened up a little bit, probably today more than I ever have, especially on a YouTube channel. But the title is also, if you're depressed about something. So I know that you have some experience in that as well, and some personal things that you could potentially share. I know that, you were in commercial lending in I want to call it a 9 to 5, but it was probably a 9 till late job, for a long time as a commercial lender, and it didn't towards the end necessarily make you very happy, that day-to-day drudge, of going to work and being tied in that sort of gilded cage in a way. So tell us a little bit about that, and how you changed your mindset to get out of that, and then decided that you were going to set up your own company eventually with me, and in the goal of giving yourself some more financial freedom, having more control over your time. Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will be helpful for anybody that's out there going through the struggle right now, because I mean, it's a relevant subject, and it's relevant in society today. I mean, anybody that doesn't know me, I spent 18 years as a commercial banker in town, worked my way up to probably the highest I could have without being the president of the bank, which I don't want that kind of stress ever. I like doing my thing and going home, but the job got to be very competitive, very repetitive. It's working 9 to 5. I was very successful, making, mid 6 figures, comfy office, credit card, doing what I wanted to during the day as long as I was making my numbers. And it got to the point where, you're only as good as your numbers were yesterday. So, and that's, when you sit down and look at life, do you really want to be in that type of life? And I'm like, no. Very depressed. I got, very unmotivated, which anybody that knows me, I'm highly motivated daily. I get up
Yes.
just thinking about, what I can do. And that's kind of my nemesis that kind of stresses me out sometimes is I want to do too much at too little of a time.
Right.
But I think, I woke up one day and I said, you know what, the heck with this. I remember like it was yesterday walking into my office and, Bill's probably going to watch this video. He's one of our mentors in our courses. He's going to watch this one day and laugh about it because he lived it. I walked in his office and said, hey, I'm quitting. I gave my 2-week notice. And I remember like it's just he goes, you're kidding. Go back, go call on somebody. And I'm like, no, I'm done.
So did you have a plan in place? Had you
No plan.
No plan. Wow. There's not many people that would or could do it that way.
Yeah. And absolutely zero plan. And I will tell you as a person, and this is the hardest thing, but I tell people this that have gone through this, and I won't throw a name out there, but I helped somebody else out of the bank. I had no plan. I just knew I was unhappy. And I will tell you, when you have no plan and you jump over that hurdle, I promise you things open up like no other. It's like you're in this like cocoon in life. And then when you bust out of that cocoon, if things just start opening up, doors open up, and it was weird because I think one of my mentors or somebody said, hey, why don't you get into real estate? I think you'd be good. You're good with people and you like helping people. I'm like, you know what? Sounds great.
So do you think, because I fully believe this, so, my question is going to be a bit slanted because I know I believe this, but I think that a positive mindset when you're going through either, you're unhappy at work or you're going through serious health issues or whatever the situation might be, a divorce or, you name it. I feel like a positive mindset and a mind that is constantly open to new opportunity means you almost attract new opportunities, right? It's almost like you're a magnet to those opportunities because you're not walking around with your head down, closed off to new opportunities. And so that almost creates them for you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, positive mindset's everything in life. I mean, it's one of the easiest things to say, but it's one of the hardest things to do is keep a positive mindset. I mean, because I think in one of the books I'm reading that the brain is very powerful. And if you let things sink in there that are negative or positive, that's what controls your days, what controls your life, and so breaking those things when you're in a negative mindset, it's hard.
So, I mean, there are a lot of people that will be watching this that, can't just quit a job from one day to the next. They have children, they have responsibilities, they have a mortgage, and all the rest of it. So maybe with hindsight and with those people in mind, what would you suggest that, their approach be rather than just sort of jumping ship from one day to the next, which,
So I'm going to go back to what are some of our course details is surround yourself with the top 5 people that are successful in your circle of influence. Those are the people that have been through this. And I promise you, there's probably been somebody in that circle that had 5 kids, a housewife, didn't know what she was going to do, or a husband, was on a downfall from a position. I mean, it's out there. Surround yourself with the right people. And we talk about this over and over and over in our courses is surround yourself with the right people and do what they do. And don't try to create the wheel, but set yourself a plan of action. And
what about reading? Because you mentioned reading books as well. Do you think that's important? Reading books and getting coaching and all the rest of it?
Yeah, you're going to throw me out there because you know I don't read books at all. But
That's why I mentioned it.
but I'm starting to read books now, and I can tell you that one
Sorry
of the
about
books
that.
I'm reading now is "Don't Sweat the Small Things, and Everything in Life is Small." And
Mhm.
I got this from a mentor of mine, and he would always say, "Read this book," and I would say, "Yeah, I'm going to read it," but I never read it. I would just say the phrase.
Yeah.
But I found out as I read this book, the phrase is so much more than that. I mean, it's literally some of the things that I stress out over, like just going in my car. And one of the things I read about is like you're driving down the road, especially here in the state of Florida, traffic is horrendous. And we get pissed off at people that cut us off or whatnot. We get mad. But my mindset is now, man, that guy must be really stressed in his life because he's got to get somewhere real fast. Because
Yeah.
as you'll probably see, he drives around us, but then we catch up with him at the next light and he's sitting there just like we are.
Yeah.
So those are the things that, I always go say it's hard to say. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, like I tell everyone, there's always a way out. You just have to make a plan, surround yourself with the right people, and take action. Actions, speak louder than words. Just don't
That's
say it,
right.
do it.
And don't spend too much time reading and educating yourself, but then never taking action on it, right? And even
Right.
if you can only do one small action towards your goal in the day, congratulate yourself for that. And even if you can only do one small action a week or a month, start somewhere and make sure that you're not too hard on yourself, I think is our message today.
That's great. And that's going to lead us into my segue. If you don't go after what you want, you will never have it, guys. So appreciate you looking in and enjoying this video today. Subscribe at the FIGU courses. Put the link down below. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a great day.